Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thanks for coming to my presentation. It's great to see you all. Okay, I will introduce about my partner. First, Dorotul Mufidah Cahyaning, Dewi Eliza Hanum, and me, Hakim Mubarak. Okay, we will explain about case study.
First, I will explain about case study. What is case study? According to Starkman 1997, case study is a general term for an exploration of an individual, group, or phenomenon. Case study research involves the study of an issue explored to one or more cases within a bound system, include setting or a context. Case study research is a qualitative approach in which the investigator explore a bounded system atau satu kasus terbatas or multiple bounded system atau beberapa kasus yang terbatas over time. To detail in-depth data collection involving multiple source of information atau melibatkan beberapa sumber informasi include observations, interviews, audiovisual material, dokumen, and reports. And reports a case description and case estimates. For example, several programs called a multiple site study or a single program called a waiting site study may be selected for study. Then, the focus is clearly the study of a singular. Then, the purpose is to portray an in-depth view of the quality and complexity of social or educational programs or policies as they are implemented in specific socio-political contexts. What makes it qualitative is its emphasis on subjective ways of knowing, particularly the experiential, practical, and presentational, rather than the proportional. To comprehend and communicate what transpired in a case. Then, types of case studies. Types of qualitative case studies are distinguished by the size of the plotted case, such as whether the case involves one individual, several individuals, a group, an entire program, or an activity. They may also be distinguished in terms of the intent of the case analysis. Three variations exist in terms of intent, such as the single instrumental case study, the collective or multiple case study, and the intrinsic case study. In a single instrument case study, according to Stack 1995, the researcher focuses on an issue or concern, and then selects one bounded case to illustrate this issue. In a collective case study or multiple case study, the one issue or concern is again selected, but the inquirer selects multiple case studies to illustrate this issue. The researcher might select for study several programs from several research sites or multiple programs within a single site. As a general rule, qualitative researchers are reluctant to generalize from one case to another because the context of case differ. To best generalize, however, the inquirer needs to select representative case for inclusion in the qualitative study. The final type of case study design is an intrinsic case study, in which the focus is on the case itself. For example, evaluating a program or study a student having difficulty. Because the case presents an unusual or unique situation, this resembles the focus of narrative research, but the case study analytic procedure of a detailed description of the case, set within its context or surrounding still hold true. For more understanding, I recommend to open John W. Creswell Qualitative Inquiry and Research Design Journal, page 74.
Next is procedure for conducting a case study. First, researcher determine if a case study approach is appropriate to the research problem. Second, research next need to identify their case or cases. This case might involve an individual, several individuals, a program, an event, or an activity. In choosing which case to study, an array of possibilities for purposeful sampling is available. Third is the data collection in case study research is typically extensive, drawing and multiple sources of information such as observation, interview, document, and audiovisual material. And the next is the type of analysis of this data can be a holistic analysis of the entire case or an embedded analysis of a specific aspect of the case. And the last is in the final interpretive phase, the researcher report the meaning of the case, whether that meaning comes from learning about the issue of the case or learning about an unusual situation. Jadi di sini itu ada 5 prosedur untuk melakukan studi kasus. Yang pertama yaitu peneliti itu harus menentukan apakah pendekatan studi kasus itu sudah sesuai dengan masalah penelitian si peneliti itu. Nah, yang kedua itu peneliti perlu mengidentifikasi kasus, mungkin kasus-kasus yang melibatkan individu atau beberapa individu atau aktivitas lainnya. Nah, dalam memilih kasus itu mana yang akan dipelajari atau mungkin untuk pengambilan sampel yang tersedia. Lalu yang ketiga itu pengumpulan data. Nah, dalam studi kasus itu biasanya ekstensif dengan memanfaatkan berbagai sumber seperti observasi, wawancara, dokumen, atau materi audiovisual. Yang keempat yaitu jenis analisis data itu berupa analisis holistik dari keseluruhan kasus. Ketika beberapa kasus itu sudah terpilih, format tipikalnya itu memberikan deskripsi terperinci dari setiap kasus dan tema dalam kasus. Nah, itu disebut analisis dalam kasus, diikuti dengan analisis tematik di seluruh kasus, yang itu mungkin bisa disebut juga analisis lintas kasus sebagai penegasannya atau interpretasi dari makna kasus tersebut. Nah, analisis holistik sendiri itu maksudnya salah satu pola gaya berpikiran orang-orang yang bergelut di dunia psikologi. Yang terakhir yaitu pada tahap interpretif akhir, peneliti itu melaporkan makna kasus. Apakah artinya tersebut itu berasal dari pembelajaran tentang masalah kasus atau disebut kasus instrumental, atau pembelajaran tentang situasi yang tidak biasa atau disebut juga dengan kasus intrinsik. Next is to analyze alternative case study research design regarding their contribution to the theory. I engage into the following steps. First is differences between case study research design are depicted. Differences in research question, framework, sampling, data collection, and data analysis. These differences result in a portfolio of various case study research designs. Second is outline and substantiated a theory continue that varies between theory building, theory development, and testing theory. Jadi untuk menganalisis sebuah desain penelitian studi kasus itu di sini ada beberapa langkah. Yang pertama yaitu perbedaan antara desain penelitian studi kasus itu digambarkan. Perbedaan pertanyaan penelitian, ke kerangka kerja, pengambilan sampel, pengumpulan data, dan analisis data. Nah, perbedaan itu menghasilkan portofolio berbagai desain penelitian studi kasus. Yang kedua yaitu menguraikan dan perkuat kontinuitas teori yang bervariasi antara pembentukan teori, pengembangan teori, dan teori pengujian. Next is research analysis, and the title The Student Motivation in English Language Learning of 8th Grades at MTS Darul Amin Palangkaraya by Fajar Mukhtar. The background of the study. Researcher will focus on knowing their motivation when learning English in the classroom. The research will analyze the motivation in English language learning. The problem of this study. MTS Darul Amin Palangkaraya is one of the schools in Palangkaraya that apply English language learning system that is good, that is expected of students can be motivated to improve their ability to learn English in the classroom. The research question: 1. How is the student motivation in English language learning of 8th grades at MTS Darul Amin Palangkaraya? 2. What are the factors lies behind the motivation in English language learning of 8th grades at MTS Darul Amin Palangkaraya? 3. How does the teacher motivate the English foreign language student? Next is the key terms used in the research. There are several definitions of the key term in this research. There are motivation, English language learning, MTS Darul Amin Palangkaraya. The relevant theories used in the study. Some pedagogical implications that would help tap the student motivation and attitudes were presented. The teacher was found to employ a variety of motivational strategies, including autonomy support and controlling styles. While autonomy controlling strategies were commonly used in these classes, autonomy support strategies were found only in highly motivated and high-performing classrooms. The research design. This research used mixed method. Mixed method is a research in which the researcher collects, analyzes, and mix both quantitative and qualitative data in single study or multi-phase program of inquiry. And the research instrumental. Researcher use observation instrument, questionnaire, interview, and documentation. Frameworks are used to analyze the data. The activities in data analysis are data collection, data reduction, data display, and conclusion drawing or verification. Kind of verification process in used. The relevant data will be observed and investigated by the writer. There are 4 techniques to get validity of the data, namely credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability.
Now I will explain research analysis about student perceptions and motivations toward English e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic. A study at the 10th grades at SMN 1 Surah in the academic year of 2019-2020 by Sri Mulyani. The first is what the background of the study. In this case, the researcher revealed about the case of English e-learning that students used during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the researcher wants to know how the perceptions of students relate to this condition. Then, what the problem of this study? Based on the research background, there are several topics that can be discussed. Due to several times constraints, availability, and accessibility. Next is, what are the research questions? In this study, specifically aims to find answer to the following questions. What are students' perceptions toward English e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic? And who are students' motivations toward English e-learning during COVID-19 pandemic? The next is, what are the key terms used in the research? In the key terms, researcher discussed about definition of perceptions, motivation, learning English, learning, and COVID-19 pandemic. Then, what are the relevant theories used in the study? The researcher combined the previous study with the conditions being studied. As in this statement, perception is a process experience to achieve awareness or understanding of sensory information, and the striking difference from this research is the time spent in this study, namely when the COVID-19 pandemic is an epidemic in Indonesia, so that e-learning is the only option to continue learning activities. After that, what is the research design? This research use case study and qualitative research, and the researcher choose simple random sampling because the basic principle of sampling can be complete where the samples in each item in the population have the same opportunities and possibilities to be selected in the sample. Then, what are the research instruments? In conducting this research, the researcher conducted interviews and collected open-ended response to questions in an online questionnaire using Google Form. Then, what framework are used to analyze the data? The process of data analysis in this study was a descriptive analysis, which is the data that has been obtained by the researcher is then translated into a sentence by describing the actual situation. And the last is, what kinds of verification process is used in research? The research used interview result presentation and questionnaire result presentation, includes students' perception and students' motivation.
Thanks for listening my presentation. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.